光る雲風を裂いて翼のように夢を描くよ時代祭し進む空宝というお嬢探しに行こう島の影鋼の帆で希望を揺らして海賊の笑顔自由の証今日もごちそう仲間と笑顔
Good evening, everyone. Let me just check the board. Yeah, green ticks everywhere, so we should be properly live.
Konnichiwa gozaimasu.
Indeed. Might have to redo that intro because just in the couple of months since I made it, AI video has become a lot more accessible and a lot cheaper. So I wouldn't have to scrounge quite so much for anime imagery to use. Weirdly, there isn't a lot of on stock video sites. So there you go. Might have to redo it. Probably just in time for T-shirt to decide that he's ready to run his game and for us to stop. But that's how things work. All right, we're playing Fabula Ultima. We have been for some time. This is what 9th session, I think, according to the thing. It'll be a 3-hour session thereabouts tonight because Inappropriate Characters Rerolled is the last Sunday of every month, and that's this month. So you can find us over on Kick because my co-presenters, well, one of them is a naughty boy who isn't allowed on YouTube anymore. So
and Rumble, right?
I believe it's on Rumble. Yes.
Yeah, because I watch you guys on Rumble.
Yeah, I think he's restreaming to Kick. It's definitely on Rumble anyway. I'm sure of that much. All right. Yeah, I won't bother with any more preamble than that. Let's get into it. So last time, just a couple of weeks ago, your skyship was swallowed by a gigantic air whale while you were pursuing a much smaller whale that you thought was the whale that you were looking for. You found a settlement inside of other ships that had been swallowed, and you joined forces with the survivors in there, explored the interior of the whale, managed to avoid being either digested, killed by enormous white blood cells, or attacked by gigantic parasites. And then you fed the whale the most toxic, spicy brew that T-shirt's character could come up with, and yes, Epicac for cosmic scale sky entities, and then the whale basically vomited and shat itself to death. And yeah, you were projectile vomited out along with most of the whale's internal organs, you think. So you did manage to slay the whale. So yeah, clean, lemony, fresh victory was yours. Well, not so clean, not so lemony fresh, because you were covered in ambergris and whale feces and partially digested fish and yeah, all kinds of other horrible stuff. But having collected your reward, you are now free to get yourselves and your ship cleaned up. Fortunately, amongst the people you rescued were a few relative locals who know some of the islands that are floating near here, and they are able to direct you to the Spire Soak aerial onsen and bathhouse of the Soaring Cloud Path.
So,
There,
I have a question. As I recall, this is like uncharted territory for us for the most part.
for you guys, yeah, it's a very, very long way from home.
Okay.
So the way I envision the planet is like it is a planet. There is ground down there somewhere, deep, deep within, but there are all these different layers of cloud. And also because the world spins, in the usual sort of way, you've got bands of typical airstreams. So certain islands, all the islands drift around, so the geography constantly changes. But some will stay in particular bands most of the time. So you can, yes, some semi-permanent geography.
Synchronous orbit for some of them due to whatever reason.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. But yes, so they've given you a scrap from one of their compasses that should lead you to the right place.
Ooh, that's an interesting. Is there a market, like a black market of some sort, that like moves location pieces around to get to hidden or less savory locations?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And some places, there's peculiarities or magical storms and things that mean that the compasses don't work for those locations, and those are valued as hidden fortresses and so on. So all sorts of skullduggery can go on there.
I imagine they would be literal floating markets.
Yes, exactly. All right.
A literal what kind of market? I'm sorry. I think there was
Floating
a joke there
market.
that I missed.
No, well, it was a reference
Floating,
to Neverwhere. To Neverwhere.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
June, did you get your sword?
Oh shit!
I made a sword to go with your sheath.
Hold on. No, wait, because let me double check, because when I checked what you sent me, it didn't do nearly as much damage as the sword I currently have. But it may have things that I would like. Let me check though.
Just carry a gold
damage. It's the thought that counts.
I'm not saying replace it.
Just carry a golf bag full of swords and draw out the one you need each time. Goblins. Looks like a ice sword. You're going to need to chip this gremlin. Give me a sand wedge.
All right, so
Okay,
we
I'll
are
write it down.
headed towards Clean Place.
Yeah, you're setting your course to the Spire Soak Onsen. It's a calm, quiet trip. You've all gone nose blind to the rotten fish and whale feces smell. Even the strongest of noodles is not making you experience any smells. So that's unfortunate. After a couple of days of travel, you find yourselves close to the Bloom Drift, a set of islands joined by creepers and long, thin cables called song wires, which thrum and emit tones as the wind blows through them. And on the largest island appears to be where the Bathhouse Temple is. It's covered in craters on its upper half. It's like half a mountain floating in the air, and each of those craters is filled with crystal clear waters. The smaller islands all around are all in a constant riot of blossoms and blooms, and the air between the islands is constantly floating with petals from the many, many flowers. There's a small jetty just big enough for your airship to be able to fit, but there don't seem to be that many other vessels stopped off here at the moment.
Well, we need our pilot to take us in.
Indeed, indeed.
Okay, give us a piloting type roll.
Probably
Dex Insight. Yeah.
Let's see, 11 before any special modifiers, which I don't seem to have, so 11.
Okay. So you get to add one to the ship because the ship rolls. And the ship, if I can find the stat block, there we go. For the ship, roll D6 and D12.
Oh, holy cow! An actual D12. I never expected to get to use that with this.
Oh, I'd like a copy of the ship stat block so I can modify it.
4 and 4.
Okay. +1 for your roll makes 9. Okay.
Can't wait until we get the Vespers Wake up and running.
All right, so you bring the ship in, but the dock here is a little bit smaller than you really need for your vessel. I mean, yours isn't a huge ship, but it's big enough, and it's originally built by a military. You kind of scrape in, sort of grinding off a bunch of paint from the hull and bending their dock slightly outwards. Not too horrendous, just a horrible, horrible noise.
Surely they prepare for this. You got like all sorts of tires and mattresses kind of pushed and put on the side just to help ease us in, right?
There are cloth-wrapped posts that absorb some of the impact, but not all of it. But yeah, the ship grinds to a halt. The crew ties it off and throws down the gangplank down onto the pier, and a little welcome delegation is gathering for you.
Okay, well, let's take a quick look around. I would like to do a little insight check to see how. What am I seeing? What am I looking at? That's 11 on insight to kind of look around and get an idea, get my bearings.
Yeah. Sorry, I got my fan on my stack of books. So
it actually is effective to your face.
Yes.
Just make sure not to have any papers laying loose.
No, it's 4D role playing. We got to make sure it's immersive.
All right. Yeah, I should get a mister and some flower petals or something to make it truly immersive.
Brought to you in Smell-O-Vision.
Yes. Then I also need some whale guts. I think I can do without that. All right. You look around as the ship's brought in and tied off and settled into place. I mean, it's clearly quite lucrative, at least in the past. You think it's a bit weird that there aren't many people here. According to the guy who you met in the whale's stomach, this was like a famed place with magical waters that are healing and can get rid of any stink, and they're allegedly magical and all the rest of it. But there doesn't seem to be as much business as you would expect for a place like that.
Do I see a place to wash down the ship?
They do have like a water tower with pipes running off it to a little engine house. A very cute little engine house with sort of steampunk cogs and things going, and a little drift of steam coming out the top. It is warm here, warmer than the surrounding air was as you approached, like the heat is coming out of the island somehow. You, from your studies into herbs and plants and oils and things that are used to make explosives, you know that at least some of these species of flower that are blossoming everywhere shouldn't be in bloom right now. They're blooming out of season, which seems a little bit odd as well. And the expressions on the welcoming committee are a little bit too over-eager, you think. They seem to be a bit too happy to see a shipload of people turn up, especially considering what you just did to their dock.
Okay. Well, the last random island that we came to and I had a conversation with, I tried to explain to them that we were pirates and what could happen. I'm not sure we should tell them that we're pirates this time, and someone else should talk to them, because I don't know, man. Every time I talk to people and we come to a new place, I end up setting it on fire. And so I'm really trying to avoid that this time. It looks like, I know Jun is really, really in the need for a hot bath.
Yeah.
She's nothing but bitch about it over and over again.
Well, listen, Bob, we just need them to like wash the ship up. If we can get that, we can get on our way. We don't got to worry about anything past that. So let's see if we can't.
Need to get clean too.
Well, Bao and them, the rest of them are debating what they're doing.
See, I knew this was going to
happen. Quinn and Drakon take off for the nearest pool up on the highest mountain and dive in.
Okay, you fly over the heads of the welcome delegation and they call up to you. Wait, hello. Please don't.
All right. So, oh yeah, he thought he's a chef now.
Yes.
So he's kind of running wild. I'm going to suggest Devlin. What do you think? You want to go have a conversation with these folks instead of me leading off and see what disaster happens from there?
Well, see, I think it's a good show of force. It's a good show of professionalism that we should. Why don't you come along with me? That way we can look like the good, captain and first officer.
Oh, I was going to come along. Absolutely. I'm just saying you should take the lead.
Happy to. Let's get going. And
then I'll take Portent will be with me as well.
But before we do, let me. Who's got a little bit of cash? We might have to grease some wheels and kind of get them to, hurry up and get the ship washed for us, because
I have 500 Zenit.
Everybody does.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been spending it like a madman, building shit. So like
in that case,
sailor on shore leave.
In that case, Devlin's gonna go and get a couple little pouches of some Zenit together, so we can kind of bribe the right people if he needs to.
Okay.
How much ambergris did we get?
Quite a lot, which was translated into Zenit. So
got you. And we just did that.
Yeah.
Okay. I also have these three. They look like pieces of paper with Taoist symbols on them, and they kind of float around me.
I remember stuff like that from where I came from.
Are they individual food orders? Snatch them out of the air.
They're the thematic equivalent of a magic sphere.
Okay. So protection magic. All right. As you get the money together and figure out what the crew needs to do, and head down on to the pier. Meanwhile, Quinn has flown off up the side of the rocky mountain, up past the two smaller pools to the bigger pool at the very top. There's a little waterfall that pours down from the edge of this one into the second crater. At the top, there's a whole bunch of flowering bushes with conical purple cluster flowers. It smells like honey up here. In the water, you can see fish swimming around, and the waters are so crystal clear you can see all the way to the bottom. At the side of the crater, there's a little encampment, a couple of sunshades set up, and a few men wearing, tied off medieval style Japanese underpants and knotted handkerchiefs on their heads, and they have fishing rods set up.
Is that to me?
Yes, that's where you are.
You and Draka.
Well, like I said, splash.
You plummet down into the water. Take 1 health point of damage. It is ice cold. You were not expecting that with how warm everything is around here.
Drakon, warm it up.
Okay, you slowly turn red, roll onto your back, and float to the surface.
How many fish die?
Not that many, because it's a big pool, so it's a bit of a heat sink. But yeah, Drakon heats up the area around you to a reasonable degree. The fish flee into the dark corners of the crater below. The men on the shore get very upset at that and start yelling and swearing at you. Fucking kid, you scared the fish away.
I wave.
Don't piss off old fishermen.
So you're just going to frolic in the water?
Yes, it's on clean.
Bathe? Yes. A slick of grime, because you're a child who will never bathe unless he's asked to, forced to. It gradually spreads out from you. Yeah. All the whale muck and just general childlike grubbiness is wafting off you. Drakon flies high into the air and then dives down into the water and pops back up with a fish, making loud, meaty, crunching noises and slurping the end of the tail in. That's you busy for a while. The rest of you tramp down on to the pier, and a welcoming delegation is there waiting for you. It's a very big, broad, tanned man with very shiny skin and a big mustache that makes him look a bit like a walrus. And next to him is a very slight, petite, very small, Asian-looking woman with disproportionately large assets.
Large tracts of land.
Exactly. Huge tracts of land. They both
Hurdle Mountains.
They both bow to you very respectfully. She nearly falls forward, but manages to catch herself.
So I have over my lucky cap, have my new first officer's cap hat, which is far more larger and ostentatious than the captain's hat, but clearly denotes that I am in fact the first officer. Holding on to my hat, I bow in
so it's a bicorn with a huge rhinestone encrusted number 2.
Correct. No. Number 1.
Number 1. Yes.
He smells like number 2.
He smells like number 2, but he is number 1. Yeah. So it's a joke in Bottom where they get sent to prison, and they're asking the fellow prisoner, where are we supposed to go to the toilet? In the bucket.
Oh.
In the bucket. What? And number 2? Yes. And number 3s. Yeah. Oh. Good old Rickenade. Anyway, yes. So they greet you. Welcome to the Spire Soak Onsen. I hope your stay will be long and fulfilling and full of everything that you could possibly need. I am Turk, and my small companion is Nuru.
Nuru.
Well, Turk, pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Devlin, son of Captain of Veilstrom, and I hope those the hospitalities includes a bit of a wash for both myself and my ship, because as we had a bit of an encounter with a whale.
Ah, yes, tricks and beasts. I can see. It looks like it chewed on you.
It pooped us. Vomited. Oh, sorry.
Yes, Nuru visibly recoils at the mention of bodily functions.
Yes. So, Bao, some point at this journey, maybe his testicles have dropped. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but he's absolutely like Nuru. He can't stop looking.
Staring. Yes, that seems to make her a bit uncomfortable, but still. Yes, we can certainly attend to your needs, washing your ship and your bodies. We also offer food, liquor, our rooms, should you want to rest on something more solid than the deck of a ship for a night or two. We'd be happy to host you for as long as you'd like to stay. However, we have had problems when vessels of your type have come into dock before. A little bit of boisterousness, some damage. His eyes flicker almost barely perceptibly at the damage you've wrought to the dock. So we would like to ask for a small deposit to cover your ship and your crew while you're here.
But of course,
I
reached out and
whisper up to Devlin, don't mention we're pirates. I like this girl.
Don't mention we're pirates. I mentioned it once, but I thought I got away with it.
Yes, of course, but
It's quietly as well.
This is understandable, of course. Here, perhaps a small bit of compensation as he hands over a pouch with 50 zenit in it.
Yeah, he weighs it. Again, there's one of these micro expressions of pain go across his face, but he's sort of, there's a very, very slight shrug. He hands the coins to Nuru. Go and put those somewhere safe where they'll do the most good. And
wait, I can help. Wait, do you need anything fixed? We can perhaps barter some time and trade for help. I can fix things. I'm a great fixer. I mean, I fix things better than anybody else you've ever met. I'm such a good fixer, and it's impressive. You can ask my friends. I don't always burn things down.
He is quite the fixer.
When he doesn't burn things down. There's probably some things you could do, but I think we need to see exactly how much in the way of services you take before we worry about that. Please.
Well, how much is the full Monty? Everything, like top to bottom. What would it per person? And then from there, consider a bulk discount for the entire crew.
Devlin will pull out a second similar pouch of another 50 zenit and hold that forth. Perhaps we could start with something as simple as just getting the ship cleaned up.
Okay, give me a sec.
What?
I'm seeing if they have any guidelines on services. Here we are, services and transportation.
You know what probably does have rules for services? Axe.
Machinations of the space marine.
Well, no, machinations is just you lose all your money between everything.
Yeah.
Correct. That it's still there. I mean, it's not that it doesn't exist.
Okay, services.
I mean,
pretty scant.
They basically put the price of like airships at like what 2,000 zenith. So
yeah, that's for the.
It should be 10% a year, 15 at the most.
But this is just a cleaning rather than a full maintenance. So let's say, just a sec. All right. Turk whips out a miniature abacus and a little tablet and starts doing calculations. For a mere 400 zenit total, we will clean your ship top to bottom, every crevice. We will clean you and your crew top to bottom, every crevice. We will feed you, and you may stay a single night here.
Done.
With full access to all of our facilities.
Out of one of my interestingly deep pockets, I pull out a bag of, turns out to be 500 zenit.
Is this where we find out that Bao is a Time Lord?
Is it 500 zenits worth of like washers, chunks of ambergris,
all kinds
magical
of stuff like that?
Okay.
All these rare ingredients that I've been picking up along the way. I can throw in an occasional interesting gadget or potion in there to.
Turk seems to have a practiced eye for assessing the worth of things, and he happily takes that in trade. You have deep pockets. He has surprisingly deep sleeves, like that think, or karate rather. All right. Well, everything is open to you.
Does Nuru notice? If I impress
she's taken the 50 zenit and has run off up the steps towards the first small crater. Hitched up a kimono and is sprinting off.
What do her legs look like?
Short and distant. Turk gestures broadly to the buildings. The inn house is the central house there. Behind the inn, you will find the mixed bathhouse. And then we have one for gentlemen and one for ladies either side. I say mixed, it's more like mixed and miscellaneous. Not all species are divided the same way we are, after all. But please enjoy your stay. Do you have any food preferences for me to inform the kitchen?
Lots.
We did have a chef. He's not here at the moment.
He's dealt with a bit of food poisoning at the moment, so he's preoccupied. So at this point, most anything, preferably not whale, would be appreciated.
Yes.
Yeah. Force of habit. When he was seasoning the whale poison, he just took a sip.
He did that. He did that. Yep. His tasting spoon was right there. He couldn't help himself. Yeah. He grabbed it. Oh, what a mistake.
Yes, and that slow look of horrified realization that crossed his face is something you'll take to your grave. All right.
He used the spoon he uses for cooking the fresh meat with the cooked meat, so he did a little bit of a cross contamination.
Double dipping. What? It's just whale poison.
Do you happen to have a place where I could maintain my armor and weapon?
The inn is spacious. We can set aside a table for you. We do have tools that are used in maintenance of the pump, which may be useful to you. But yeah, please follow me into the inn. He leads you over, slides open a pair of big paper doors. Inside, it's all highly polished red oak, which gives everything a very warm and kind of 1970s feel due to all the kind of burnt brown and orange colors. There are pale tatami mats, low tables, lots of cushions to sit on. It's all very pleasant. But you can't help but notice there's just a sprinkling of dust over everything, like it's not being properly maintained.
Let's see.
So I'm looking. Which direction did Nuru go?
She ran off up the side of the mountain.
I'm really struggling whether I want to follow or should I get clean first.
Well, if you follow her, you may discover some dark plot this bathhouse is doing, so probably stay with us.
All right. Meanwhile, up on the mountain, has Quinn finished splashing around and pissing off the fishermen?
Yeah. And then once I'm done that, I'll fly around and like check out the wildlife and plants and stuff like that.
So flying around over the top of the low, scrubby, blossom-covered trees, you spot a couple of little herds of miniature black pigs running around in the forest, snuffling up fruit that's fallen from the trees. Otherwise, it's mostly birds. A few aerial fish, or amphibious aerial fish, fly in and out of the lake every now and again. It's very tranquil, very peaceful, very, very lovely.
I settle down where the pigs are and start talking to the pigs, asking them, how they're doing. Is there good eating?
Yeah, you can talk to animals. So,
yeah,
the boar of one of these herds of pigs sort of trots over to you. He's only about the size of a dachshund, but taller. Oh, I'm stuffed. I couldn't eat another fruit. Well, maybe one more. Nom, nom, nom.
You look happy.
Yeah, it's a good life up here. We wander around eating fruit, and apart from the strange disappearances that go on, it's a good life.
Disappearances? Your friends disappear?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds bad.
Well, that's all right. Piglets make up for it pretty quick.
Is there no other animals up here? Just you guys?
There's us. There's some squirrels, some birds, some fish, and then there's those weird two-legged things that walk around a lot.
Oh yeah. Do they come up here?
Not so often, but those ones with the weird sticks by the water, they've been here a while.
They cause you trouble?
No, not really. They're not very stealthy or anything. We hear them coming, so we just leg it.
Well, I'm going to go fly around. Do you want me to knock down some more fruit for you?
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of... Yeah, I'm a bit full, but maybe just one. Yeah, knock down those ones over there.
I'll shake the branch and knock a bunch off.
Who was the guy that couldn't eat another bite, but one more razor thin?
Mr.
Mr. Creosote. Yeah.
So Quinn flies around, and he's looking around because the last time we landed on a nice looking island with like a tree and nice stuff, it turned to be evil, and he's all like paranoid now for a kid.
The only thing approaching evil here is the fishermen, which continue to make obscene gestures in your direction because you keep scaring the fish.
Okay, I don't know. So I fly around and do that for a bit.
Okay. Meanwhile, back down at the bottom.
Devlin is going to make his way for the bathhouse to go and finally clean up and presumably find a new change of clothes here.
Yes. Do you want to use the gentleman's baths, the ladies' baths, or the everything else baths? Or everything else and both baths?
Oh, he's going to be the utmost gentleman. I mean, he doesn't want to go and putting on a bad reputation for the rest of the crew, so he's going to, of course, go to the gentleman's bath.
All right, you make your way through there. There's a nice little tiled area. There's lockers and benches for you to change, and there's a variety of big fluffy dressing gowns in various sizes and shapes.
Oh, I'll take one of these.
Horton and I go to the mixed gender, and I have him wash himself down and give me my clean laundered clothes, and I will get into a nice hot bath and make myself scrumptiously scrubbed and clean.
Well, if Bao is going there, then not going there now. So I will go to the ladies' bath then.
What? Wait a minute. Why do I feel like I've been dissed?
Because you have. And
No.
and Zeren just enjoys his whale stink and maintains his armor.
He's going to go to the I guess the gentleman's bathhouse and remove his armor, and Devlin will see that on his pale skin there's just a mismatch of jagged scars all over.
So how did those come about?
I failed to protect my king, and that's all he'll answer.
He's from the grim, dark area of the role-playing games.
Part of Devlin wants to push it a little further, but he's going to respect the boundaries. And settles in as he sets that arm in the bath. You know, if for whatever hell comes from this island that we're no doubt going to experience, this bath is sure worth it.
So all of you, apart from Quinn, who's flying around, you'll get into the baths and soak. They have all manner of soaps and nice smelling things and shampoos and all sorts. But it feels so good. You can feel the stress just leaving your body.
Amazing.
So soaking in the baths gives you all a Fabula point, plus you get one for the start of the session, so you got 2.
Awesome.
Uh-oh. So part of I'm going to as many 16-year-old boys do who discover girls, I'm going to cover myself in way too much cologne and slick my hair back so that I look mysterious and a bit mafioso.
You find one of the perfumed oils that you really like. It comes in a little tub that looks like a dwarf with an axe. It's called Hatchet.
Oh yeah, man! I put it all over me, man. Woo! Woo!
It's very masculine.
Oh my god, it tingles! Holy smokes!
All right, in the gentleman's baths, while you two are soaking and admiring each other's wounds, a little golem made out of bamboo and red oak comes walking out along the side of the pool, tick tock, and stops by Devlin. Greetings, madam. Would you like a drink, or perhaps some service?
First he wants to correct it. You know what? Yes, I would love a drink.
Do you have any particular preferences?
Something relaxing, preferably.
Something relaxing. I shall return shortly, madam. And you, miss? It says to Zera.
Wait, Devlin's a woman?
No.
Do you happen to have any oil and some polish for my armor?
We have many oils. Do you have a particular perfume preference?
No.
Very well. I shall choose something suitably feminine for you, ma'am. And then it hobbles off to go and fetch whatever it is you need. Returning shortly after, it hands Devlin a coconut with a profusion of things sticking out of it. You're pretty sure there's a drink in there somewhere, and there's also a little bamboo straw to suck through.
In the background, you hear, her name was Lola. She was a showgirl. Ba-da-bum-bum, ba-da-bum-bum, ba-ba-bum-bum-bum. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum.
And flags.
This is...
I was thinking about a different Lola song.
This has been such relaxing, bout after being stuck down in the whale guts that I will happily take this.
tastes like bubblegum and sleepovers. And then the little golem stomps over to Zeren. Here you are, miss. Your oil.
Okay. I assume it's like massage oil or something.
Yeah.
Well, it's oil.
Yeah. And oil is oil.
Yeah.
It'll do the trick.
Oil's well that ends well.
Oi!
So I'll begin oiling down the sword and the armor, and getting it to a nice sheen.
Yeah. So you squat naked at the side of the pool, oiling your weapon. All right. Meanwhile, in the mixed gender pool,
Wait, what about the woman's? What's
I
happening?
will get to that one. But you were in the mixed one.
Yes.
Yes. And now you smell of hatchet
Manliness.
and mandem. However, you've noticed that the pool that was like steaming and hot when you got in is starting to get cool. You guess they're having some kind of mechanical trouble of some kind.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to go investigate.
You turn it off and
How
on.
is this thing heated to begin with?
The heat seems to rise from the bottom of the pool. Ducking your head underneath, you can see that there's a little grill with a slight Magitech glow to it.
Oh. I'm going to do a little insight alchemical check on it and see what the dealio is and why it seems to have stopped functioning. That's a 12 total.
12. Okay, so you swim down and look at the grill. There's still a water current coming through, so whatever pump there is definitely working. You swim down a bit closer and peer through the bars, and there's a little space beneath with openings in it where tubes and pipes come into it. And in the middle of that space is a tiny little figure, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 foot tall. Looks like a baby made of flame, but the flames are all very, very close to its body. And it looks kind of annoyed.
I wave and go back up for a breath.
Yeah, it looks up at you, and then you rise up for a breath.
So, is there a way to see where this mechanism can be accessed for repair without having to go underwater?
Make another insight roll to figure that out.
11.
Okay. Are you going to put on a towel?
Oh.
Or a dressing gown?
That's
an important part of the role.
Apparently. So, yes, I will have a little bit of modesty, though I grew up in a slum, and wrap my little bit of dignity so it doesn't offend others.
Is that what you call it? A little bit of dignity?
Correct.
So you're a hoopy fruit who always knows where his towel is.
Correct. Hey, my grandma Cop told me the most important thing in the world was you could never have too many towels. Now, why she told me this, I don't know, but that was one of the facts of the universe she laid upon me as a teenager.
Always know where your towel is.
Yeah, I don't think she ever read that book.
What was she from? A small planet somewhere in the vicinity of Betelgeuse?
How far away are we from Betelgeuse now?
Quite a way.
Yeah, no. Then no. She was from Queens.
Okay. at least that's what she told you. You may have alien blood.
I may. There's this little like dimple on the bottom of my foot that I used to tell people that's where the aliens inserted the DNA, and my grandma did confirm that.
Sounds plausible. Okay, so thanks to your amazing towel bonus, you are able to trace the pipes back to the pump house, which is still rattling away. Could probably use some maintenance, you reckon. And then from the pump house, you can climb down into a little access tunnel they've got underneath. It's all wood lined, same as pretty much everything else here. Some little magical crystals light up. The pump house draws water down from the craters, filters it, and then passes it along into the pools to be heated. So you follow the pipes along, figure out which one goes to the mixed pool, follow that along, and then there's a more open room with a big sort of circular stone apparatus with the pipes running into it. And there is a little sort of metal porthole gate, like a hobbit house door. And below that is a little shrine table set up, thickly covered in dust and cobwebs.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm going to ponder to myself, how does this work? Should I clean this up? Perhaps there's just something as simple as some gumming up of the works and not a major repair needed. 12, 13.
Well, the water was pumping through fine. It just seems like that little flame creature was slacking off somehow.
Well, so I'm looking at like the dust covered altar table thing that perhaps is involved in some sort of appeasement and or,
Yeah, a lot of the dust is from old smoldering incense sticks and other offerings. There's a little metal bowl full of ashes, but then on top of that, everything's covered in more typical dust and cobwebs. So no offerings or prayers have been offered at this altar for some time.
So I'm gonna clean the altar. Do I see any? Oh no! What am I talking about? I'm gonna spend an inventory point and pull out some of my Taoist Boom Boom Guild most holy incense, and then I'm going to offer my mage sphere that is designed to do a flame strike for 30. It would do 30 points high, fire damage. And I'm going to put together a little ad hoc Taoist ceremony to let this little guy know, hey, I appreciate the work you did. And I had a great hot bath, so here you go.
Okay. All right, so you set up the incense. You offer your prayers of thanks, and then you set off the fire blast to light the incense, which seems a trifle excessive. There's a huge flaming explosion. The ground trembles under all of you, and you hear a distant whoosh boom. And then this being Boom Boom Guild incense, as it lights, it fizzes like a sparkler and then goes off.
Yes.
Leaving fragrant smoke behind. You hear a gentle tapping on the other side of the metal door.
Who is it?
Hello.
Hello. I open the door. Hello,
Okay.
hello.
You see the flaming little baby face, but the fire is a bit more vibrant now. Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you for making the offering.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. I felt a kinship. I felt a great appreciation. and it just felt like, I don't know, man. I got this spring in my step, this song in my heart, and this vision in my head that makes me wonder what's happening to me as a young man now.
Do not worry, it will pass. All things cool down in time, including teenage ardor. I shall warm the water for you. Thank you for your offering.
Okay.
And then it screws up its face adorably in concentration. And the flames go higher, and you can see the water begin to bubble on the other side.
Excellent. All right, take care. I close the door and off I go.
Right. You may have another Fabula point for solving the issue. Now, let me see. Sorry, give me a sec. Okay, Jun is in the
Yes.
late baths, all alone, relaxing, soaking. The little bamboo golem that tended to the others comes trotting up to you. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Can I get you anything? A shaving kit, perhaps?
No, I'm fine.
Are you sure that beard is quite unruly?
No, I think you may have a problem with your programming there. Maybe go see that young Boom Boom Guild member. Maybe he can fix you.
I would, but he's talking to one of the flame elementals.
I'd say wait next to him when you get off your break. Or get on your break.
Very well. I shall wait next to him. In the meantime, can I get you anything, sir?
How about...
Foaming mug of ale, perhaps?
Sure, why not?
A chunk of meat dripping with fat?
No, that's fine. I'm not... I'll just take the ale.
Very well. And he trots off. You try to relax again, and something brushes against you under the water.
I immediately get up out of the water and look down at the water.
Like, leap out of the water like a cat that's been dropped into it? Or a mad scramble? Or
I imagine it's a mad scramble, but we are talking an anime style game, so it probably was like a cat.
Yeah. Okay. If T-shirt gets back in time, he will join us, and Simon is not feeling good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you spring out of the water in an absolute panic, land on the side. Can you make a dex roll, not to slip and fall, please?
Okay. Dex.
Then it immediately steps on a bar of soap.
Then out of the bushes leaps a big fat man in a grey suit and tie. Have you been in an accident?
That's a 16. That's 2 8s. That's a crit.
That is a crit. It's a crit indeed. Okay, yeah, you spring out of the water as if it were a solid surface, sort of backflipping perfectly to land on the edge of the pool. Yeah, if this was the Olympics, you'd have got 9s or 10s all across the board. All right, and you stare down into the water. Can you make an probably insight for a perception-y type roll?
Okay. That's another crit with 2 5s, total 10.
Where are these rolls when you fight?
I don't know.
Somewhere else.
No, clearly he gets
that to be
clearly
6 or high.
Clearly, the rolls are coming for the important stuff. It all balances out.
Right. Okay, just barely looking down through the water, as the sort of soap suds and stuff spread out where you just were. Something ripples differently to the rest of the water around it, thicker.
Like anything in particular that June would know of, or just something?
Something. You didn't get a really good look at it, but then the water stills again.
I'm just gonna go over to the mixed baths because there's no one else in here. There's something in the water. I'm going.
Okay. So you wander back over to the mixed baths and settle
Yeah.
in there, and about 2 minutes later, our friend Bao arrives back with the bamboo golem following him all the way. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Hey.
There's a lady in the baths. In the baths, there's a lady.
Yeah. What?
Bow just uncovers wood.
What is this thing? Why is it here? Hello.
I am a servant, sir. Madam.
Are you asking June or just saying that out loud?
I'm saying this out loud. I mean, I have a mechanoid companion. Why is this thing following me around?
It is my job to serve you, madam.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can figure out, just from a quick observation, do I see anything that's obviously out of place that causing it to misunderstand people's genders? And no, I got 4.
Okay. You look at it, and other than who builds a robot out of wood, you've got no idea what's actually wrong with it.
You could spend a Fabula point.
You could spend a Fabula point.
I'm cool right now. I got other plans for my Fabula points, man.
We have to spend them though.
Can I get you anything, ma'am? A drink, perhaps some food.
Can you ask? Perhaps you could either show me the way to where I could find Nuru.
Oh, I would love to. And then it makes a weird grinding noise and just stays where it is beside you. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Oh.
I have a superseding order to wait beside you.
Oh. What can alleviate that superseding order?
More important order. Or the completion of that order.
How does that order become completed?
No time limit was set. I must wait beside you until the world itself crumbles into ash.
You're made of wood, right?
Bamboo and red oak, sir.
Okay. We'll see who turns to ash.
And I am covered in wax. Keeps the water out, you see, sir.
I see. I make flammable things to start fires and coat them in wax. It works really well.
Not to worry. If I catch fire, the pool is right next to us.
Understood. That's good to know. All right.
I shall wait for the world to end, and then I shall fetch you a drink.
Well, what are the odds of the world ending before you come back with a drink?
I'm not really built for calculations, sir. After the world has ended and I've brought you a drink, I shall ask Mr. Turk to install an abacus.
Feel like
If June is in the same area. She'll
You
probably
are,
hear all-
yeah.
okay, she hears all this. She's like, she's gonna come over. We need to fix him. That's what I told him to wait next to you for.
Fix him.
Yes,
Oh.
fix him.
Hey, what do you call yourself there, little thingamajabber?
Oh, I don't call myself anything.
What do other people call you?
Hey, you.
All right. Hey, you. What
Yes.
I'd like you to do is tell me what's wrong with you.
What's wrong with me? Oh, I haven't been maintained in some months. Most of the termites have died. It's an awful, terrible pain in all the horsehair down my left side.
Okay. Well, tell you what.
Touch of woodworm in the feet.
Oh, man. Ship's worm, woodworm, bookworm, however you want to call them, they are an anathema to all knowledge. Let me see. How about we do this? And I'm going to grab my little satchel.
There is a way to fix it. Just destroy it.
Oh, come on.
I'll fix you.
I mean, it's all destroyed already. Just burn it and then build a new one.
Okay. Well, so I got a 10 on my insight for tinkering and trying to understand what's going on. And I'm going to spend a Fabula point so that there is some connection to the Taoist symbols of life that I may not have seen in a while, but I recognize enough that it'll help me get some more insight.
Okay. So what did you roll on your diagnostic?
So I rolled a 10.
10.
On my diagnostic.
+1 for the tools. That's 11. Okay. You unscrew the top of his head and peer in. The whole mechanism inside is a combination of magic, bamboo under tension, horsehair, and termites. Most of the termites seem to have died off and collected in his feet. So there's scant few termites left. The way they run around inside seems to be what operates his brain, such as it is. And there is a little trough for wood shavings where it's supposed to feed them, which is empty. So they've been nibbling on non-essential systems.
Okay. Well, this is an easy fix. So first thing I'm going to do is go to a nice piece of red oak and create some slivers. Actually, I'll have Portent do it for me. And aye, Capitan. And then I'm going to use my other little laundry ticky, no laundry, to
floating ticket. Yep.
Right. To cast heal on the termites. It's a 40-point heal for up to 3 people.
Okay. Between your technical skill and your magic and your little robot friend tearing up a red oak floorboard and grinding it into small bite-sized pieces for the termites, you're able to get you there, or hey you, whichever one you want to call it, more operational. Thank you, miss. I feel a lot better.
All right. So there we go. Don't have to wait till the end of the earth, do we?
No, I'll fetch that drink for you.
Thank you very much.
All right. And he toddles off and returns with a foaming jug of ale. Are you, Jun? Are you going to tell the others about the thing in the women's baths?
Yes. She's going to be saying that really loud in this entire mixed bath that there's something in that women's or the ladies' bath over there up on the hill. Some kind of creature, some kind of elemental. I don't know. Something's in there.
What? How do you know? What happened? Explain. I'm confused.
I was in there. I was alone. And then suddenly something brushed against my feet and it moved the water even when I got out.
You sure it wasn't like a water elemental? Or it wasn't the water itself moving when the pump turned back on?
I don't know.
Did you see anything? You just felt something.
I
Did
saw
you
its
notice like
movement.
when the whole earth moved a little bit not too long ago? Was it that perhaps?
No, I think this may have been some kind of creature because I felt it like slither under me.
Huh. Well, so what I'm going to say is you seem way more aware of what happens in a bathhouse in general. Like you had some preconceived, maybe precognitive ideas about what was going to go down here. What do you think it is?
Well, I don't know if this is accurate, but it could be some kind of fish. Maybe even a really big fish.
You were afraid of a fish?
It may be a kingfish. They are very large, very nasty fish. I found them on the island way before I met you guys.
Okay. And
Could be a Magikarp.
Yes.
I was going to say, I mean, I'm pretty familiar with like koi. Is that what you're talking about?
No, this is if I'm right, this could be very well a carnivorous, monstrous fish that is way bigger than any fish you can imagine.
Well, how big was the pool? And how deep is it?
How big was the pool and how deep was it?
Bigger and deeper than the one in front of us now?
They're about identical.
Is there any way in God's green earth that this pool in front of me could hold the monstrosity that Jun is describing?
If it was a big flat fish, perhaps, and it didn't move.
So it's like a flounder devilfish kind of thing.
It would have to be, and it would have to have some sort of stealth or invisibility sort of screen. Anyway,
Well,
while you figure that out,
there also could be like some kind of entryway into the baths from the lake up in the mountains.
Gotcha.
speaking of, Quinn is still up at the top pool, flying around, looking at stuff. You see the tiny little woman that was on the pier at the bottom finally make her way to the top of the winding steps, very much out of breath. She wheezes and hobbles her way around the shore of the crater lake over towards the men who are fishing.
Okay.
Wait, doesn't she like heave her breath? Isn't her breath heaving?
Quinn's underage. She doesn't notice such things.
Oh, okay.
I fly down by the tree line out of sight and just try to listen to what they're talking about.
Okay.
Being a stupid kid.
She hobbles up to them, all out of breath, and hands over the money. There you go. There's some pay. We've got guests, so you can come back to work just for a bit. They count the money and begrudgingly agree and start picking up their fishing gear and their camping supplies. And she and they make their way back towards the steps.
Okay. Follow them at a distance, I guess.
All right. Yeah. Are you flying still, or are you going to drop down lower?
Well, skim.
Okay. Yeah. It's a lot easier going down the steps than coming up them because there are a lot of steps. But they're not in any hurry, so they're taking their time to walk down. makes you a bit impatient.
Are they talking about anything when they go down?
More than two. That the handful of men are just constantly griping, complaining. It's like, this isn't all the back pay. You realize, and she's just, yeah, I know it's not ideal, but if we can get the guests to stay and enjoy themselves and leave a tip, then we can get everything all good and running nice and smoothly again.
Okay, I'll follow and just be quiet.
Okay.
So I can go talk to Bao or Devlin.
All right. So to decide what to do, you should probably reconvene in the main room. So who availed themselves of the baths? Jun, Devlin, Zerin, and Bao. So that's 4 of you. Okay. When Devlin gets out the baths, puts on his dressing gown and goes to his locker, you open it up and all your stuff is missing. All your clothes and weapons, your purse. None of it's there in the locker. In its place is a thin coating of goo.
Oh, this is just great. He grumbles and looks about, trying to see if he can find a trail of slime.
Make an insight roll. Won't be too difficult, so don't worry.
Things just never go smooth.
Slimes are pretty smooth.
No, you know what I'm referring to, I imagine.
15.
What'd you get, sorry?
15.
Okay. Yes. The trail of goo seems to lead to a drain where all the tiled floors come down at a slight slope. There is more goo. There's more goo around the drain. The drain is about as big as your head, with bars across it. It looks like it's been pushed up, out, and then pulled back into place. There's a torn bit of the sleeve of one of your shirts on the side, and more slime around. It's weird slime. You've never seen anything quite like it.
Devil's gonna pick up the shirt sleeve and look around frustrated. That was everything I had.
There's from inside the drain comes a sort of gloop 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 noise.
Problem?
He's gonna look down the drain like, "Hey, give me my stuff back!"
You hear more glooping and then silence.
How big's the drain?
About head-sized, the entrance here.
I suppose out of frustration, I presume there's be some sort of like spigot nearby that he must have basically just taken, pour a big old bucket full of water down after it. Like, I'll teach you.
Yeah, there's some rinsing buckets, and you can fill them with water and pour it down the drain.
To make sure it's scalding hot before he pours it down.
It takes longer to fully drain away than you would expect. There's this bubbly scum on the surface of the water until it finally drains. But yeah, all your stuff is gone, and then you join the others in the main room. Turk and Nuru are serving up another meal and drinks for everybody. And a few other servants seem to have shown up. They all look a bit sunburnt and unkempt, but they seem to know their jobs.
Well, I was robbed. How was everyone else's bath time?
What? The gun
There
I
was
made
some
use-
kind of monster in the lady's bath. I had to come in here.
Well, there was something in the.
She thinks it's a giant fish. There's no way a fish can fit in the pool.
Maybe it came from the lake through a pipe. I don't know.
Wait a minute. So now there's a pipe big enough to transport a giant fish large enough to scare you from the mountains. I'm going to say this story gets thinner and thinner every time. My bigger concern is there's a double-barrel shotgun out there just floating around now.
Well, I
Nira gasps in shock. Robbed? I'm so sorry to hear that, but this is everyone, and these men were all the way on the top of the mountain, and I certainly didn't steal from you, and Turk wouldn't steal from you. Perhaps one of your own crew did it.
Devlin holds up the little scrap of his sleeve. Still has a little bit of the slime on it. Well, I found this near the drain in the changing room. I think that
what you do in your own time is okay, Devlin, but don't show it to us, okay?
It's blue. This isn't me.
Is that Mr. Happy? Is that what you call that scrap, Mr. Happy?
Well, that pipe is from that draws the water in. It's not that big. A very big fish couldn't come down it, and we haven't had any problem with bath sharks since 94. Turk, 94, 95. Yeah.
What about slimes? Could something like that have gotten into the women's bath?
A slime? Well, they're not native to this island. I don't see how there could be one.
Call me crazy, but thematically, I'm interested. Are there any naughty tentacle monsters around?
This isn't tabletopless, so they are consenticle monsters, not tentacle monsters.
What about some sort of parasite? Could we have picked up something from the whale that stuck with us?
You mean like on the bottom of the ship and has now invaded the island?
Exactly.
Well, I guess we could wait until Quinn gets back and have him inspect the bottom of the ship and see if he sees anything.
And as if by magic, Quinn.
Hi, guys. What you doing? I was up on a mountain. You know they got pigs up there?
Okay.
Do they fly?
No, the pigs don't fly. They're cute, though. Can I take some with us when we leave?
As long as we get to eat them later.
Oh, you can't eat them. I have them for pets. We can have them run around on the deck.
I can eat them. Trust me.
No.
Okay. So, could you do us a favor real quick?
What?
So it looks like there might be. Yeah, I just saw that comment. That's what I'm thinking too. It looks like there may have been a unregistered. What's the word I want? Not guests. Not, but we may have brought something to the island. Can you take a look under the side of the ship and look around, see if it looks like there's any sort of infestation from all those weird gobbledygook things that were inside the whale? And I could keep talking like this if you'd like, but you could just say yes or no.
Yeah, I could go look under the ship. Wait a minute.
Cool.
Fly up. Fly underneath.
Okay. Can you make an insight roll to examine the bottom of the ship?
$17.
Okay, you are very perceptive. Okay, well, the cleaners have been working on the ship, but you do notice that a lot of the sky barnacles that were on the bottom of the ship are absent, and the people cleaning the ship haven't gotten that far yet. So something has either scraped them off, maybe Devlin when he hit the dock, but you don't think so. But yeah, there's a big patch of sky barnacles and other incrustations that are missing.
Is there any other evidence from them, like slime or Mucus?
Yeah, there's some sort of residue of ambergris and whale puke left behind, but it has hardened to a waxy finish.
Trying to scoop some of it off so I can make a ritual and see if something was feeding on it or it was from something.
Okay, yeah. You scrape a little bit of it off. And then what, you want to fly down and do a ritual to...
Yeah, I'll do a chimerism ritual to see if I can track, like if this is part of something, see if I can track where the rest of it is.
Okay, let's have a look.
Chimerism is the one dealing with living things.
Yeah. And then ritualism, because we need to work out what it costs and so on. Ritual 118. Okay, so you can either roll insight plus willpower or might plus willpower.
Insight and willpower.
Okay. Potency. Locate something or someone. So that's medium potency. Individual creature. So that's going to be 30 magic points, and make your roll.
Okay. Wipe that off. It's 30. Okay. 8 and 8.
Okay. Yes, you get a flash, an insight. There are deeper drains beneath the bathhouses that run down deeper into the mountain rock that everything is situated upon, and you sense something lurking down there, a fusion of somethings, an oily, greasy presence.
All right, so I'll go find which drain it is. I think that the thing went into.
The pump house seems to have the hatch that leads down into the sewers proper.
Okay, so I think that thing went into through that hatch.
Well, it's somewhere down there.
Oh, we're about to go get dirty again, aren't we?
All right. So then I fly back and tell these guys what I found. Bow. I found something. Yeah, there's something that was like on the bottom of the ship, but it's like slimy, and now it's running around in the sewers underneath the island.
Interesting. Did you bring any of the slime back with you?
Yeah. I made a ritual so I could tell where it is. I can follow it. See here, look at this. If we follow this, I can take us to it.
Okay. So I look at the two slimes. Do they appear to be the same slime?
So the slime that Devlin showed you, and
the stuff I scooped up.
Yes, the ambergris stuff. The ambergris slime is thicker and more solid. The other slime is thin, goopy. There is particulate matter floating around in it, and some short curly hairs.
So the one is still fresh, and the other's old.
The ambergris stuff is thicker, more solid.
That's what I mean. Like it's
right.
sort of dehydrated, right? Gotten thicker.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a little alchemical examination. Oh, shit. Oh, that's a 7, not a 2. 12.
Okay, what are you trying to figure out?
Well, so I'm trying to do an alchemical comparison to see if there's a relationship between these two substances.
Okay. All right. So while everyone's trying to eat, you are susurrating and boiling and fiddling about with these two very stinky, goopy, horrible substances. which are both quite pungent in slightly different ways. There are small amounts of the ambergris within the other ooze, but watered down and intermingled.
So what are all the uses for ambergris?
You would know that, but I need to look it up. Other than perfume.
Right.
Primarily in perfumery and historically in food and medicine. It's known for its unique musky, earthy scent, which acts as a fixative, enhancing the longevity and complexity of other perfumes. It has also been used as a flavoring agent in food, because humans are disgusting, and in beverages, and in traditional medicine in various cultures for various ailments. It was a component in some historical recipes for Turkish coffee and hot chocolate. King Charles II of England reportedly enjoyed eating eggs with ambergris. Eggs and whale vomit. Breakfast of kings. Some cultures have used it as a flavor enhancer in various dishes because we don't learn. In traditional medicine in the Middle East and Arabic regions for digestive issues, heart conditions, and as a general tonic. Some homeopathic remedies are derived from ambergris and used to treat conditions like timidity, hypersensitivity, and depression. Oh, I feel better. I just don't want to drink any more whale vomit. Thanks. It was also believed to have aphrodisiac qualities.
Next to whale vomit.
Yes. Water that probably has less whale vomit in it than ocean water, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Ambergris has also been used in incense and traditional ceremonies due to its distinct fragrance. It's long been associated with luxury and opulence, often used as a symbol in art and literature. In ancient Egypt, it was used to scent tobacco.
So, interesting how they don't actually tell you what it tastes and smells like. So, in both French perfumery and in a number of cuisines, you put something that is rancid, disgusting, horrifically gross. When they talk about flavor enhancement and scenting, that's what they're talking about. A counter to all the wonderful, beautiful things that smell and taste great with something that smells or tastes horrendous.
Well, I've just looked it up, what it tastes like. It's described as a combination of sweet, earthy, musky, and fishy notes. Fresh ambergris has a fecal odor, but this transforms over time to a more pleasant, musky scent as it ages and dries. Some describe the taste as shimmery, ambery, and indescribable. How do you describe something as indescribable? It tastes like chicken.
I mean, Lovecraft did that all the time, so...
Yeah. So
and how fitting it's like squid and fish.
Yeah.
Why is the fish always undescribable?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Hey, Grim, we're not playing Lamentations of the Flame Princess.
I know we're not, but we just went down.
We're also not playing Tabletopless. We're also not playing Tabletopless, where you have the intermissions where you just go over real world stuff.
Just so much. Yeah, I was thinking just so much of the fecal content that he's reviewed for.
Fecal Lamentations.
Okay. Boy, so ambergris comes from whales vomiting. So we got some ambergris attached to us as we were vomited. But what was attached to the ambergris?
Well, in the whale's gut, there were the survivors. You were also attacked by the whale's
immune response,
yeah, and there were parasites.
And how did those parasites attack us? I forget.
I think they were big worms, weren't they?
Huh. Okay. Well, worms. Does thinking that this could be one of those parasitic worms and giving that information to Quinn help him with his chimera juju?
Well, Quinn's like waiting, going, it's right over here. I'm waiting for you to come, but you wanted to do that.
Yeah. Quinn already used his magic to figure out where it is. So,
well, yeah, but not what it is. He didn't do what it is, though, and that's important.
No, I didn't, but it's over here.
Okay. So why don't you show Devlin where it is?
Hey, Devlin, you got volunteered. While you're weaponless and clothless.
Yeah, I just got a bathrobe on. It has a little logo for the bathhouse on. I'm like, this is perfect.
Well, I start heading there and see if they follow or not.
So
is it?
I'm going to spend inventory point and pull a rabbit out of my hat, or rather a magical gun that does ice damage for Devlin.
Okay, yeah. You rummage around in your bag, pull out a few bits and pieces, and kind of hammer them together, and then hand it to Devlin. And eventually, he figures out that it's a gun.
Thanks, says he. Pockets it. Into the little.
No. Point the other end. The other end. No. The other end.
But
point
that's
the
not
other
the
end.
handle?
No.
You pull the trigger, and the big wooden club on the end flies off and attacks your enemy.
Oh.
So make sure you put the metal bit right against your shoulder.
Well, one way or another, this is all going to come to an end.
So
I'm lucky it'll be me.
All right. Well, if you're following Quinn, you tramp over to the pump house where the pump is still chugging along, making.
I'm following along too.
Yeah, with your armor and stuff on, just to really rub it into Devlin that all his stuff was stolen. When you get to the bathhouse, Quinn throws open the trapdoor. There is a little metal ladder leading down into the older tunnels underneath the bathhouses.
I'll ask Drakon to go down first and light up so we can see what's down there before we go down.
Okay. He clambers down there, sniffs and looks around, and then sticks his head back out through the tunnel as if to say everything's okay. Well, to Quinn, he does say, yeah, it's all right, come on down.
I'll drop in and follow him.
All right. Down there are old tunnels, worn very smooth by the passage of lots of water over time. It looks like these days it's just used as an overflow from the other drainage system in case there's ever any problems. This probably used to serve whatever older bathhouse used to be here. It's big enough for you to walk with your heads held high and without banging them all the time. So there's been a lot of water erosion. There's also little goopy patches of slime here and there.
So I use
jumping over those.
I use the sample that I made the ritual on and see which way it leads.
All right, it's pulling you in this direction.
I follow.
Just going to go after it?
Yep.
Okay.
Unless someone says something, I'm a kid. I don't think there's anything going to happen to me. I'm invincible.
Of course you are. All right. So Quinn goes on ahead. There's not really enough room for Drakon to fly, so he's just sort of bobbing along. Can you all make dex rolls not to slip on a patch of slime, please?
Do I need a bother with that? Because I'm not walking.
Or you're hovering like an inch above the ground. You're fine.
I got a 12.66.
Nice.
I rolled an 8, but I want to spend a Fabula point to reroll one of my dice.
Okay. Make a note that you spent your Fabula point.
And that's a 9. So 8, 16.
Yeah. Did anyone get less than 10?
Doesn't sound like it.
Val muted, or did he have to go away for something?
No, I didn't go with them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go either. I
It's
thought
just
I
us
was
two.
still up.
There are others.
Oh, okay. I thought you all went.
No, it's just
No.
Devlin and Zarin following Quinn.
You know, it would have been convenient, but no.
The rest of them are like, ooh, it's Ucky down there.
No, man, Nuru's up here. I'm doing everything I can to impress her.
Okay, boner boy.
It's
Someone
his
should have
first
told him.
direction. Be nice.
Someone should have told him that like being a brave hero would have been more impressive.
All right. Quinn follows the magical hum from the piece of ambergris, and eventually you exit out of the tunnels into a larger chamber, which was clearly used as some sort of storehouse for water. It looks like there's a leak somewhere, so water does drip into here constantly. So there's a couple of inches of water around your feet, but it's all dirty water and kind of sludgy. And the smell is kind of hard to describe. Is there an American equivalent to like Boots? Would you call it a drugstore or something that sells all the shampoos and perfumes and cosmetics?
Yeah,
and...
that would just
Yeah.
be like a pharmacy or like a. There's
No,
like lots of
there's
stuff
a
like that.
beauty store. They call them
Bed
beauty
Bath
stores.
and
Yeah.
Beyond.
Well, if you've ever been in one of those, right? There's all those clashing perfumes in there, coming from all directions, and like they're giving out samples or whatever. And then there's just the kind of ambient smell of all the different cosmetics, and it's always given me a headache. I don't know how it makes you feel. It's always made me feel a little bit nauseous and headachy. And this place has
Same.
that kind of smell. All the oils, all the perfumes and everything, all intermingling down here with an undertone of like dead skin and human filth. There's a glooping, sucking noise from the ceiling, and as you look up, you see a clear-ish ooze coalescing. Everything spins, and you drop into combat. Can you make an initiative roll, please?
That's
Do we
the
remember how to do that?
What? Dex and
Dex Insight.
Insight?
Dex and Insight. The difficulty is 9. You pick a leader who rolls. Everyone else rolls. If they beat 9, the leader gets to add 1 for each person that succeeded.
I feel like I should be the one in the lead here because it's presumably
Yes.
got my stuff.
You're always the leader. That's why you were
Yeah,
given the
that's
belt.
standard operating procedure now.
I gotta know.
I got 14, so over 12.
So
I rolled an 8 minus 2, so it's 6.
So what did you roll, Devlin?
18 before I add any other
Okay. All right. So your side gets to go first. Who wants to go first, and what do they want to do?
You want me
Devlin
to-
is going to quickly like raise his fist and scream at it like, "Give me my stuff back!"
Wait, is that going to be our action, or you want me to have Drakon flame it?
Let's see. I think for his action, Devlin should be looking around trying to spot his possessions. So
Your possessions are inside the body of the slime.
Okay, well, he's thinking about it. Drakon flame it.
Well, after Devlin's go, which is seeing where his stuff is and shouting at it, it's its go.
You wasted our action.
One sec.
I like those boots.
They're going to be a lot less likable once they've been flamed.
Okay. It coalesces, bubbles, You see fragments of filth and clegs of hair that have fallen down the drain, and Devlin's stuff all kind of coalescing together as it forms into one big blob. You see an eye appear out of the gloop, and then a big fleshy mouth, and it goes and spits at Devlin. What's your defense without your armor?
Let's see. Dex 10.
Okay. The dressing gown gives you an extra trait of cozy that you can use to spend Fabula points.
There you go.
Actually, can I use protect and catch the spit on my shield?
You can try. Just a sec. Thanks. Might. Okay, you have to spend magic points to.
Yeah, I believe it's 10 mind points. Let me double check.
Okay, it only rolled 8 to attack, so it will miss him.
Oh.
So do you want to intercept anyway, or just let it miss?
No, I'll let it miss.
Okay, yeah, so it goes, and a huge golf bit of phlegmy, soapy, bubbly slime narrowly misses Devlin and splats into the wall and runs down. Who wants to go next?
We'll have the Drakon flame it.
Okay. He goes and blasts fire at it. Make an attack roll. You need 11 or more to hit it.
Yeah, I got that on one die. 21.
Oof. Okay, how much damage?
It's the high die, so 21. High die plus 10.
Okay. Okay. The flame plays over it, but doesn't seem to do it a particularly huge amount of harm. Some of the hair that that makes up its body, the disgusting drain clogging, does get singed, but it doesn't seem that bothered by the fire at all. It's not a boss monster, so it doesn't get any more turns, and there is just one of them. So who wants to go next?
That would be me, and I am going to attack it, thrusting my sword and instead of doing... no, I'll go ahead. I'll just do damage. If I
Okay. Go for it.
Meanwhile, June is upstairs just sipping on her ale.
Okay,
You need
that's
11 or more.
14.
That's a hit. How much damage?
That's 7 plus... Better scroll back up to see the weapon. 6, so 13.
Okay. Right. You drive your blade deep into it. Devlin notices to his shock and horror that your blow into the slime hit his hip flask, breaking it open. But the slimy drain goo didn't seem that phased by your sword attack either. Yes, so up in the bathhouse, the rest of you just sit there calmly, sipping your ale, having another bao bun, probably.
Yeah, and I'm making sure that I'm close enough to Nuru that she can get a great whiff of that quart of manly aroma that I put on myself after bathing.
Well, it's amazing though when you turned up, like, you smelt of whale vomit and other hideous things, and she didn't seem that bothered, but now she's stuffing cheese up her nose. You guess that it's just, she just knows that Hatchet is so sexy that she will have to protect herself. Okay, new turn. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first?
I'll go ahead. This time, instead of using my sword, I'm going to smack it with my shield.
Okay. Make your attack roll with your shield.
That's a 11.
Okay, so and you have to equal that to hit it. So yeah, that does damage. How much damage?
That would be a 10 total.
Okay. Right, you smack your shield into it. It makes a loud sort of splat and wobble noise, and then you pull your shield back away, and strings of mucus are between your shield and it, but you have to kind of shake it to get them off. Ugh, disgusting. Again, though, it doesn't seem that bothered. Doesn't seem that bothered at all.
Devlin, your magic cannon that I gave you, that's Dex plus Insight plus 1 to hit, HR plus 10 damage, and it does ice damage.
But it is the slime's turn. All right. Zeren hasn't done it much damage, but he's made more of an effort than anyone else. What's the Zeren's defense? Physical defense?
12.
Okay. It extends a pseudopod and misses. It's very, very sluggish and probably not actually that dangerous. Just seems like it can take a lot of punishment. Yeah, so it forms a pseudopod and swings at you, but you manage to deflect it easily with your shield. All right, it's anyone who hasn't gone.
I think Devlin's gonna, try to, get a shot off and try to get a little bit of revenge here, and hopefully not wreck more of his stuff in the process. So, it sounds like I should be firing with
ice would be a good damage type.
Sounds like theoretically I should have some sort of penalty to try to avoid damaging my own stuff.
Yeah, if you want to avoid damaging your own stuff, reduce the overall score by 1 from the highest dice.
Eight and 4, 12, 15.
Minus 1, 14. So that is a hit. But reduce the highest dice roll by 1 for calculating damage.
Which would be 17.
Okay. All right. You bring up this crudely cobbled together gun and fire. It glows blue. Your fingers go a bit cold and numb, and a blast flies out of it and strikes the slime. A whole section of it freezes solid and tears itself free of the rest, shattering to pieces as it drops to the floor. It didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. It goes.
What did it say?
It said, "Ow."
Did any of my stuff fall with it?
Yes. Pick a thing that fell off.
Probably his coat.
Okay. Yeah. Your coat fell out of it with all of that. And it's now covered with slowly defrosting slime.
Could he spend his move to go and pick that up?
Yes, you can. So you quickly dart over and grab your coat in a combat roll. Oh, it's all slimy.
For my action, since I heard it talk, I'll speak back to it. Mr. Slime, if you don't surrender, they're gonna freeze you to pieces. They're gonna kill you. But I can clean you up and take you out somewhere where you can live free.
Be free? It turns its single eye on you curiously.
I can help you. But you gotta hurry up because they're gonna kill you if you don't.
It blinks at you and seems willing to entertain the idea, but unfortunately nobody else speaks slime. So We'll have to see.
But they do see and hear me talking to it. So
yes.
Yeah,
Quinn makes.
yes, but
Nice. Quinn's distracting it. Let's attack.
but everyone in the party knows I can speak to basically everything. So
New turn. Who wants to go first?
I'll go ahead because I'm gonna. Do I see his shotgun in the slime?
In the slime, yes.
I'm gonna reach in and grab it and yank it out.
Ooh.
Okay. Knock one of your attack dice, whichever one's highest, down by 1 die size and roll to attack.
Okay. $13.
Okay. That is a hit. How much damage do you do with your fists?
That I'm not sure. Because I don't have
think
brawl.
it'd just be highest roll unless you got unarmed abilities.
Okay, so it'd be 7.
Okay. All right. You're gonna have to drop one of your weapons or sheath your sword or something.
I would have sheathed the sword when I was gonna go in there.
All right. Slide the sword back into the sheath, pull back your fist, and punch it into the slime. Oh, it feels disgusting. You grab hold of the shotgun and pull it out from inside. But the skin all over your arm is inflamed and reddened. Take 10 health of damage.
I don't suppose my armor can soak any of that with my...
What's your armor bonus?
I get, as part of my Guardian, I get, was it my defensive mastery? So I get any damage I suffer is reduced by my skill level, which is +5.
Okay, in which case you only take 5 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just grit your teeth against the allergic reaction you've had to the gloop. Right, it's go. It goes. Oh, I thought you said peace to Quinn.
I'm trying to get you to. Well, my turn will be right after this, so I can talk at the same time.
It lashes out with several gooey tendrils and hanks of partially rotten hair to try and grab hold of Zerin.
I'll try to step in front of it. I'll use a what do you call it? Fabula point.
Fabula point. What is Quinn's defense?
6.
Physical defense. Okay. It hits you instead of Zerin and does you 18 health of damage.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
And I yelled at everybody, stop! He's going to give your stuff back. Stop! And then I start talking to it. You got it. You got to let go of all his stuff, that stuff floating in you. And then let me get you out of here, and I'll get you something better to eat.
It screws up its eye and makes sort of gloopy, straining noises.
Shits out stuff.
It shits out a bar of soap, a pair of earrings, a plug on a broken chain, and the shattered remnants of Devlin's hip flask.
I do flip Devlin the shotgun, though.
Was there anything left in there of Devlin's stuff? Is that all of it now?
Oops.
Probably his boots and other stuff.
Captain's hat?
Yeah, captain's hat.
So,
Yeah.
I'll keep telling it, you got to get all that stuff out of you so I can get you out of here.
Okay, it strains and squeezes until all of the stuff inside it is
Shut out.
pushed out. Yes, it's quite a bit smaller than it was.
All right.
Where can I go live? On ship?
I'll show you, but first let these guys go. Go, guys, go. I'll deal with it. I can talk to it. I'll deal with it.
Devin will proceed to throw on what he can and
Get me a big glass bottle when you get out there, please. Big jar.
Could I spend a Fabula point and pull one out?
A big glass jar is not something that you would normally carry around with you because it would shatter and break. But as luck would have it, you remember there were a couple of big glass jars, big bottles, or they demijohns or whatever they're called, in the pump house. So you can grab one of those and bring it back.
In which case, I'll go get one.
Then when he gets back, I'll tell the gloop monster, okay, you got to go in the jar, and I'm going to use the jar to carry you safely on the ship, and we'll take you to someplace where you can be free.
Can I bring my mom?
Sure.
Oh, no.
Get another jar.
It calls out, and you hear answering gloop noises.
We got to get that other demijohn.
Right. Unfortunately, guys, my back is killing me, and I want to lie down for a bit before inappropriate characters re-rolled, and a boss fight is a bit much to cope with.
That's all right. We've got a non-violent solution for a change.
Yes. So we shall pick up where we left off next time. You can, however, have your 5 XP for this session.
Yay.
So once we get them both in the, once we get both the gloop monsters into the demijohns, we'll take them out, cork them and put them on the ship, and we can take them somewhere where they can be free without wrecking everything.
Yes. But we shall attend to that next time.
Farewell. Rest well.
Bye.
Yes. Come and watch me on Inappropriate Characters Rerolled. Search for that on Rumble. And that is in about an hour and 50 minutes. So maybe I'll see some of you there in the audience. And tune in next time for Grimm's Overheated Half-Assed Adventures.
Hey,
see you there.
I think things went very interesting. We had a good time.
Good night, all. Take care.
Slide in the rest.
Night.
That's it.
Night.